Hello everyone friends. In this video I'm creating a new playlist and starting to review our terminal. That is, it's called ISA, which is an abbreviation of our full name. In this video I'll explain how to install it. The terminal is currently in beta testing. We are actively testing it, refining it, and fixing bugs. Then we'll move on to adding various features, such as screeners, backtesting, and indicators, and so on. Today, I'll show you what it is, how to install it, how to connect to the exchange, and how to create API keys. We'll launch the bot, I'll show you its current features, what it can do in general, and so on. Overall, the terminal embodies my vision of what a modern terminal should look like at this point in time. That is, it won't have any kind of nonsense like fan charts, all sorts of, and so on, useless things or any other unnecessary stuff that people talk about on the internet. Here, there will only be things that actually work in the market and truly help you make money. So, make yourself comfortable, and now we'll start getting acquainted with the terminal. I'll create a playlist. In fact, I've already created one, and it will be called the Terminal Playlist. There I will be posting and uploading videos related to this terminal. This is our main product. For now, it's not on the website because it's still being tested, but once it's available, it will be on the products page. Right here, it will take up 3 of these slots, and there will be a download button. At the moment, it can only be downloaded from Telegram in a private channel. Copy the link if you already have a subscription. In general, Uzel is this terminal. People continue to use it, test it, and help us identify various issues. You can also join in. Just go to the pricing page where you'll find all the terms. You can participate either for a fee or for free. You get access to absolutely everything available here, including the current terminal, and any of our screeners, bots, and so on. In other words, one subscription. That means access to everything we have. So let's move on to the private Telegram channel. Once you're there, you'll get access. If anyone is interested, just copy the link. Paste this link into your browser. The installer will download automatically. Run this installer. Click on More Info. For now, you'll see a system warning like this. You can ignore it for now. We'll fix that later. There's nothing serious about it. It's just a long story to explain. Basically, you need to sign the code so that Windows doesn't complain. It's a rather tedious procedure, so for now we've put it aside. It won't make you rich, so we've focused our attention on what will actually be useful to you. In short, click Run Anyway and install the program. Click OK. This is the installer you'll see. Click Next, Next, Change, Install. All this takes literally a minute maximum. And now our program is already running. Click Done. An authorization window appears where we must enter your email and password. So that's where we get all this from, right? Maybe someone will have a question. When you register on the website, you use some email, right? And some password? These are the exact same credentials you enter in this terminal. Let me enter them and type in the password. We're all logged in, and now let's move on to the review. So the installation literally takes just a few seconds. Well, maybe a minute, alright. Now let's move on to the review. Everything is set up. Let's start with the simplest thing. There's a little person icon here. You click on it, and you get your account information. Access is granted, and there are 35 days left on your subscription. Here's your email. And here it also shows the consumption of this particular program relative to your resources. So our program uses 45 megabytes of RAM and CPU. It hardly uses any resources, but we also haven't done anything yet. Well, I thought I'd show you. It's a pretty cool story. So by clicking on Settings, you can enable auto cleaning of logs here. That is, logs are written to a file. By the way, you can view the logs by clicking here on the panel, and your logs will be displayed here. You can filter absolutely everything here by their status, error, or warning, so all logs are written to a file, and they are automatically deleted after 3 days. Here you can also set up auto-saving of your workspace. So for example, if you've created some tabs or something else and then closed the program, everything will be saved, and when you launch it again, all those tabs and everything else will remain. That's what this feature is for. In the notification section, you can set up notifications so that the program sends them to you in Telegram. You create a token in the bot phase of RAID. I think everyone knows how to do this. You paste it here, then enter your Telegram ID here, specify what you want to receive, click save, and you'll get notifications in Telegram. For example, if the bot opens a position and then closes a position, you will receive these two notifications. If there are any internet issues, for example, if the exchange goes down, you'll get a notification about that too. Of course, if your internet goes down completely, then naturally you won't receive anything. I hope that's clear. So next, here you can see the program version. There's a small update manager. This is a window where you can roll back to a previous version, install a new version, and so on. Right now, this is the current version. Later, when a new version appears, this button will become active. You'll click it and the program will update. So, I think everything is simple. Now let's move on to the most interesting part, so to speak, which is also here. Let's go through the menu items. There is a documentation button. When you click it, you are redirected to the documentation specifically for this program. Here you can learn what this program is, how to install this terminal. I've already shown you that, and how to connect to the exchange. There are instructions here on how to create, launch it, and so on, and so on. In general, the documentation is always at your fingertips right here in a separate tab. We'll talk about that a bit later. First, we need to connect to the exchange. Let's go to the Connections tab. And we need our program to connect to the exchange, so we click Add Connection and choose. At the moment, Bybit is available either spot or futures. So let's select futures there, come up with a name, let's say Demo. And here we need to enter the keys. That is, we need to go to the exchange, create API keys there, and enter them here. And don't forget to toggle the switch. Set it to active if you are creating a connection for real trading. If not, then you don't need to enable the switch, you should turn it off. Anyway, I hope that's clear. Now let's go to the exchange. Hover over the icon, go to Demo Trading. Hover over the icon again and select API keys, then click. Then click to create a new API key, have the system generated, and select Read and Write Permissions. Here, check the box for one trading account. Then just enter any name you like. Just type it in. I've already created some here, so just pick a name you prefer. And then basically, click Submit and your API keys will be created. Once they're created, go to the program. You can go to the torch section. I think you all know how to do this. Just fill in the fields here and click Save. That's it. Now the connection will be created. Here the connection has been created. Now all that's left is to launch it. Look here, it also shows your account balance. Click Launch, and the program automatically connects to the exchange. Your balance is immediately displayed, the one you have in your account. By the way, this is the most important point. These keys that you enter, yes, they are stored on your computer. They are not sent anywhere or anything like that. Let me explain. There are services, I won't name them, but be careful when you enter your keys on some website. This is a very risky thing to do. When you use our service, please keep in mind that everything is securely stored directly on your own local computer. If you navigate over to the Tools tab and then select the Logs folder option, you will find that your unique access token is safely stored right there for your convenience. More precisely, all your keys are on your computer, so it's safe. Just make sure no one else gets access to your computer. That's basically how it works. As you can see, the logs for the entire program are displayed at the bottom. Let me hide this so it doesn't get in our way. Also, when we connect to the exchange, it shows the name we gave to this connection and the ping, so you can see what your ping to the exchange is. Now that we have a successful data connection established, we can create a chart and examine the performance of some specific coins. At the moment, we haven't added any technical indicators to the view yet, but we will be doing that very shortly in the next step. You'll be able to add indicators later. Also, I won't spoil anything, but there will be a very interesting notification system. You'll be able to set any conditions you want and in your own style. You can take any indicator, a set of indicators, come up with some condition, and you'll get a notification in Telegram. For now, you can just look at the chart at the time frame and see everything that's happening. So that's how it is for now, but of course the most interesting part is the bots. Let's go to the Bots tab. This menu item has 3 sub-items. My bots. This is a kind of control center where all the bots you have created will be displayed. The Create Bot button simply opens a modal where you will create a bot and choose a strategy. This is the tab where all available strategies will be displayed. At the moment there are 2 of them. But of course there will be more in the future. By the way, you can read the documentation for each strategy by clicking on Documentation. So you read it, study it, and if there's something you don't understand, then you launch it. In a nutshell, how does it work? Basically, what is a strategy? It's a set of certain conditions, instructions, and so on. You select these, choose a strategy, a set of these instructions. You give them to the bot and it implements this logic. So let's do it this way. Let's go to the My Bots tab and create one. Here, you choose which instruction or strategy the bot will follow. For example, I'll choose grid, select the connection, choose the ticker, let's pick Ethereum for instance, and then we come up with a name. By the way, you don't even have to come up with a name. You can just right click and it will generate a name for you. It's a handy feature so you don't have to rack your brains. I'll just write this name in. You can also configure other things there. For example, if I only want to go long on Ethereum, I turn off shorts and so on. You can change these settings later as well. So we've told the bot, please execute the logic described in this strategy for us. And it said, okay. We create this bot that implements this strategy. And now it appears in the table. Here's what the label looks like. Let's create another one just for fun to make it more visual, okay? Now we already have 2 bots. They are created pretty quickly. So what do we see here? Here we have the control panel for these bots. Here we have specifically, so here you can manage those bots, meaning you can launch all inactive bots or stop all inactive ones. But this thing is actually very convenient, and of course, when you have just 2 bots, you might not need it. But when you have, say, 50 bots, then this feature will be useful. Here, metrics for all bots will be displayed. For example, how much all the bots have earned, how many bots are active, the total position volume across all bots, and so on. Also, for each specific bot, it will show what its volume is. For this bot, you can see its current position, liquidation price, how much it would have earned, and similar information. Here you can enable or disable the bot, go to the bot viewer to see exactly what this bot is doing, configure it or delete it. I think everything is clear here. Let's launch this one for Ethereum. It implements the regular grid strategy. And let's just go to the bot viewer and see what it's actually doing. And the main feature is precisely in this viewer. What do you see here? You see directly everything the bot is doing. For example, it has placed a buy order. You can also, in real time, so to speak, change anything you want. That's also a really cool feature. For example, let's say I want the order it placed to move closer to the current price, to the price. I'll change the channel width, and now this order has moved closer. So in this way, you can watch what the bot is doing, what positions it takes. That is here. In addition to orders, positions will also be displayed. When you hover over a position, it will show what kind of position it is, what volume it was opened with, its direction, and so on. In general, since this is an algo terminal, you can also implement things here. For example, right now Ethereum is dropping, right? Pretty significantly. Well, maybe that wasn't the best move, but anyway, you can do it. So Ethereum is dropping. You can launch a bot. It will open a position, for example. You can do it that way and then turn it off. Set a take profit and then turn it back on whenever you want to close the position. This way, we kind of automate the routine work. Right now, historically, Ethereum is at a pretty interesting price, so you can gradually buy it there. And so that you don't have to place these orders manually, you just launch it, then turn off the take profit so it doesn't close the position, let it accumulate the position, and then you can close that position later. We also have a button here. We'll add it in the next update, so you'll just press the button. Right here, you can close at market price, and it will close the position at market, or you can turn off the bot, and when you turn it off, it will ask you whether to close the position or not. If you say yes, it will close it. That's how it works. When you don't need the settings, you can just click here like this and they'll be hidden. Yes, it will be displayed here, but for now there are no trades. Actually, the equity chart will be shown here, and at the bottom we'll have metrics like drawdown and similar stats. Right now everything is at 0 because there haven't been any trades yet. All of this can be turned off, turned on, and so on. Next, here we can look at the bots, trades, and the bots logs. At the bottom, all the program logs are displayed. And here in the viewer, the logs of this specific bot are shown. Here we can take a closer look at the chart. If needed, you can maybe draw something, add something, and so on. You can also turn off the bot directly from here. You can go straight to the documentation from here. If you forgot something, you can review the documentation. Well, actually, each parameter has its own tooltip. Just hover over it and it gives you a hint. But just in case, we also added documentation, so I think everything is clear with the bots. Let's move on. The next menu item is monitoring. Here you can view all active orders for all bots. Right now we have only one bot running, and this bot has one order, which is exactly what we see in this table. If you click on the eye icon, a viewer will open and you can directly see at what price the order is placed. Next are active positions. Since there are no positions at the moment, nothing is shown here, but when they appear, your positions for all bots will be displayed here. The same applies to closed positions. You can view all closed positions for all bots, and here in the viewer, you can see the closed positions for this specific bot. Next, what else do we have here? Well, the charts, I've already told you about them. If you want, you can take a look at any chart. Later, you'll be able to add indicators here. There will also be a screener added here, so you can see where the market is heading, which bots are moving sideways, and which are trending. Based on this, you can decide which bot to launch, for example, if there's a trending market. If the market is trending, you launch the grid trend. If it's sideways, you launch the regular grid. The screener will help you a bit with this, but that will come a little later. Next, there's one more menu item left. These are the tools. Here, you can open the folder with the logs. Here is the file where the logs are recorded, and here is the file where logs are generally saved in two folders. So if something happens, you need to send us exactly these two folders. But actually, probably in the next update or the one after that, we'll add a bug report button. You'll just click on it, fill out a short form, and hit send, and these logs will be sent to us automatically. You won't even need to send anything yourself. Just fill out the form describing what's not working for you and click send. That's it, that's all you need to do. We'll make this feature so that we can resolve various types of issues more quickly. Well, the data folder is the folder where your charts are stored. They are stored on your computer. Everything is stored on your computer. And the last point is transferring settings. So for example, if you need to, let's say you've set up bots and created them on your computer, and then you want to transfer everything to a server. Here's what you do. You check all the boxes, export, a file is created, you transfer this file to the server, then go to the settings transfer again, select this file here, and basically all your bots, all your tabs, all your settings are transferred from your computer to the server. It's a really convenient feature, but we're still going to improve, let's say, its functionality. This transfer feature, but the main thing is that it works, and we provide this opportunity. There's also a plan to add a bot manager there, so you can set risks for all bots, and there's a lot more planned for the future. Well, for now, I'm just showing off what already exists, what you can already try out, charts, navigation, and so on. You can see what the bot is doing, and so on and so forth. Overall, I'll wrap things up here. This was an overview video of what's available at the moment. If you're interested, of course, go ahead and subscribe. Both paid and free options are available. The terms are on the pricing page. Download the program while it's still. You can only download it from the private Telegram channel. Test it out. If you just can't wait and want to participate in the beta testing, you're welcome to join. As for the rest of you, you can wait. I'll notify you via a Telegram mailing when the full release is ready. We will soon add the program directly to our website on the products page, and you'll be able to download it from there. Basically, that's all from me. Thank you all. Goodbye.